Hey folks, today is Friday, December 13th, 2024. As usual, my name is Jake Baldino, here to talk about all the video game news that has been going on this week. And clearly, I'm in a dingy hotel room because I am at the Game Awards. Yes, there is a lot to talk about with that, so we're going to get right to the jump. Here, I'm going to get you caught up with kind of like a greatest hits kind of highlight reel. If you want a full breakdown of all the technically new game announcements and stuff like that, we have another video. I'll link that in the description down below. But it was a pretty good night. Look, the awards for Game of the Year and all that, like, people will argue about that endlessly, but really at this point, I'm just here for new game announcements. I just want something to eat, and we did get a lot. The first thing is Outer Wilds 2 gameplay. This looks very much like they're continuing from Outer Worlds 1, but bigger, crazier, more combat options, bigger worlds. And I like that the game confidently was just like, hey, we're the people who made KOTOR 2. We're the people who made Fallout New Vegas, so yeah. Also, I did not see this coming, but Sifu, the people behind Sifu, Slow Clap, their new game was announced, and it is not a brawler, which is something that they usually stick to, combat-focused games. No, it's a soccer/football game called Rematch. It looks really simple, but also very over-the-top at the same time, but when you see the player animations and how the gameplay works, it kind of makes sense. You can see the DNA here. But yeah, hoping to hear more about this soon. Now, one thing I didn't expect, we're going to talk the return of a couple of franchises. They announced kind of like a retro Ninja Gaiden again, but I really didn't expect this. Turok Origins. Does this look like Turok? I don't know. It's definitely an evolution. It's definitely modern feeling with the third-person over-the-shoulder gameplay, but it's very cool to hear Turok back again. I will totally give this a try. Also, check this out. This is from Gen Design, the game development studio with Fumito Ueda, of course, behind things like Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. This is their new game, Project Robot. We got a very small glimpse of this. Not really a lot to go on other than that they showed us, hey, we're doing the thing that we do. Like, a little guy climbing up a big thing, very mysterious, cool, lonely atmosphere, but also he climbed up on a mech. So essentially it's the Shadow of the Colossus people making a mech game, which I think is like a banger headline. I am on board for that. It's probably going to take forever. I mean, if things like, like the previous games indicate, I don't know when we're actually going to see this, but this is cool. I'm sorry I didn't have my coffee this morning. This thing feels like it's designed to kill me. What the Hey, you FromSoftware people, got something here, a new Elden Ring game. This is a standalone game called Elden Ring Night Reign. This is slated, I believe, for 2025, and it is a multiplayer-focused kind of alternate romp. You see a lot of crazy stuff here, new combat styles, a lot different world stuff. This has a lot of potential, and I think Elden Ring people, especially Elden Ring people with a couple of friends, they want to squad up, this has a lot of potential for being really cool. Also, speaking of multiplayer stuff, Helldivers Omens of Tyranny, their expansion was announced and it's out now. They showcased a new enemy class, vehicles, weapons, and it might be a good time to jump back in. I really loved Helldivers back at launch. I popped in here and there. This might get me back, at least if the trailer is anything to go on. Yeah. Also, Dispatch. Dispatch is a new game from Telltale. I guess they're still working on The Wolf Among Us, but yeah, this is a new thing with Laura Bailey, Aaron Paul, a bunch of other famous actors in kind of like a superhero management office simulator type game. This looks really cool, colorful, creative. The art style and the vibe kind of reminds me of Invincible, which is very cool, but I'm curious to see how much of a game this actually is. Like, it just looked really like a show. Also, one of the big announcements of the night was Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophecy. This is the new sci-fi game from Naughty Dog. I'm at the very least very happy that they're working on something that isn't just more Last of Us or more Uncharted. This is a new thing in a new universe and not too much to go on yet. We got a little bit of a glimpse of action towards the end. I'm still waiting to see a lot more from this. Still, nonetheless, a cool teaser, but we also got gameplay for Borderlands 4, and this absolutely looks like more Borderlands. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think Borderlands fans know what they want at this point. Hopefully this rights the wrongs of some of the things, the missteps they made in Borderlands 3, but the new playable characters look awesome. The abilities, the weapons, the loot, it's all here. And we know at least that it's coming 2025. But something I didn't expect, I've talked about this in videos, this franchise, and could it return one day? It seems like Capcom is bringing it back. Onimusha, The Way of the Sword was announced with classic, I assume, Samanosuke here. That's awesome. I didn't expect that. As a PlayStation 2 classic, this is really nice to see. Not a lot of info on it yet, but like Capcom has alluded, they've expressed interest for a while now in bringing back classic franchises, and it's nice to see this one, honestly. Also, Sonic Racing Crossroads was announced. What a confident announcement. They literally just show Shadow the Hedgehog get into a cool car and drive away. They're like, that's it. That's all you need to know, you Sonic freaks. You're happy. So, yeah, more info on that is promised soon, at least. We also got a deeper look at Dying Light: The Beast. This is a new standalone Dying Light game starring Kyle Crane, the guy from the first game, but now he has some superpowers. This game really appeals to me because it does look like a return to form a little bit to the original game, but also apparently it's a tighter, more focused experience, and they're not going for just like an endless open world thing. Also, I was really happy to see like a full trailer for Mafia: The Old Country. This was previously announced, but we didn't really know too much about it, and now we got a little bit more of a glimpse, and it's kind of what I expected. It's a young character in Italy in the early 1900s getting into the world of organized crime. You got old-timey cars, you got horses, old-timey guns, action, but also a really tense, kind of eerie atmosphere. I think they're going for some interesting things with the characters and power dynamics. I can't wait. As a Godfather Part 2 fanboy, this game is really going to scratch my itch. I really hope they nail it.
Now, next up, this episode's brought to you by Novium. Check this out. The way it spins, the cool hover effect. So if you don't know, and I've talked about this on my channel before, Novium creates innovative, unique, and stylishly designed products all around just kind of encouraging some creativity, inspiring you a little bit with what's on your desk. For many months now, I've had Novium's hover pens by my side, right at my desk, and to be totally straight up and simple, they're just really good, high quality writing devices that look cool as hell. In fact, the Interstellar edition you see here has actually received the award of one of the best innovations of 2022 by Time. It's a ballpoint pen sitting at a 23.5 degree angle in a cool nod to the Earth's axial tilt. And like I said before, I have them at my desk, and I like it specifically as a gamer because it reminds me of something that belongs on the Citadel from Mass Effect. Maybe on a corpo's desk in Cyberpunk. Either way, these just really make for a compelling gift this holiday season. You could buy anyone a regular old pen for the holidays, but a gift like a quality Novium pen really makes a difference. So if you want to check it out, you can enjoy 10% off all hover pens with free shipping to most countries using code gameranx. Be sure to use the on-screen QR codes here depending on your region, or click the links in the description down below, again, for 10% off all hover pens with free shipping to most countries. And again, big thanks to Novium for sponsoring these videos. Now back to the Friday show.
Also, they're bringing back Okami. There's an Okami sequel in the works, with it being headed up by, of course, Hideki Kamiya and a new studio. The new studio is called Clovers. Yes, you probably remember Kamiya's original studio was Clover Studio. Now it's Clovers. That's incredible. No real info on this new Okami game other than that is a thing, and I know a lot of people are really happy with this. I'm just saying, cool, Okami, great. But now can they bring back Beautiful Joe? Also, Joseph Fares and Hazelight's new game. These are the people who made It Takes Two, A Way Out. They're doing another awesome kind of couch co-op adventure game. This one is called Split Fiction. It's two writers that get sucked up into the world of the stories that they created, but like opposites. So one person is like a fantasy person, one person is a sci-fi person, and it's got that Hazelight varied co-op gameplay that plays you through a story. This looks incredibly ambitious, from the genre changes to the gameplay changes. This thing is absolutely wild. I am really excited as a person who has been a fan of their games for quite some time now. This one has the potential, and thankfully it also just has a release date. You get to buy it once and play it with another person, and it's releasing March 6th, 2025. And last but certainly not least, a really interesting night, good energy, excitement for new games. Todd Howard and Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford standing on stage at the same time. What crazy moments, right? But one of the biggest things was a look at the next Witcher game, now officially titled The Witcher 4. We knew this has been in the works for quite some time, but now we got a look at one of their first kind of good cinematic trailers setting the stage. Of course, I would have loved to see gameplay, but at the very least, now we know what's up. It's an older, Witchered out Ciri going through adventures, and it's a whole sequence with her going into a village, figuring things out, fighting a monster, and it is exactly as Witchery as you'd expect. All the hallmarks are there. Gore, tragedy, blood, guts, potions, swords, monster slaying. I don't know. I'm really hoping they nail this one. We're probably going to get some more information soon. I am talking to some of the developers behind the scenes, so I should have some info for you soon. But yeah, at least some of our base questions are answered, right? Like we were like, are we going to play a Ciri or create our own Witcher? What's going on? Where's Geralt? So yeah, for now, we have this. So like I said, those are some of the main highlights to get you caught up. We'll be talking about more of these games soon. I'll also probably dive in on my personal channel soon, some of my other favorite picks. But for now, to get you caught up, those are all the big moments from the Game Awards. So of course, before we move forward into like the next part of the show with the rest of the news, I would love to know what you think about the announcements. What really caught your eye? What are you anticipating? It's very good to know. It helps for us to know, so let us know. But now, let's move on to the rest of the news of the week. All right, so other than the Game Awards, what do we got this week? One big thing worth pointing out is that the whole thing we talked about a week or so ago with Sony possibly acquiring developer FromSoftware, it seems like it's more likely to actually be a thing now, because now we have official word from the horse's mouth. Sony has confirmed that, yes, they have expressed intent and have communicated with FromSoftware's parent company, Kadokawa, that they want to purchase. Or at the very least, they are interested. The quote is, "It's true that we have made an initial statement of intent. We would appreciate it if you would allow us to refrain from further comment." That's all we have. It's a small update, but I do think it's a significant one because now we have confirmation from both parties that they're talking. They're talking. We don't know if they're dating. We don't know if they're going to get married yet. But this is, of course, a concerning thing that a lot of gamers are keeping their eye on. More consolidation. Sony owning another thing. Of course, Sony is not interested in just buying FromSoftware for their games or for Elden Ring or to make a Bloodborne 2 or something like that. They're interested in owning the whole parent company. Kadokawa, of course, has like big influence and big holdings in anime and manga. So yes, Sony PlayStation is also coming after your anime. You better look out. Again, we don't know exactly how this is going to shake out, but it's still interesting. So I want to know what you guys think about the possibility of PlayStation owning FromSoftware. Is it all sunshine and rainbows, or are you concerned? Speaking of Sony, though, in some cool, smaller news, the developers of Astro Bot did announce a quick little update, one that I'm excited to get home and go play. This is the winter update. All this really is like a winter kind of holiday-themed level and these like winter-themed bots. Not a lot, but still, the fact that they're just sprinkling in fun, more little gifts and stuff, like, I appreciate that. But in terms of game updates, it is worth highlighting the pretty significant, the big update that came to Cyberpunk 2077, specifically because it wasn't really expected. Developers CD Projekt Red, of course, have really expressed that they're, like, done with Cyberpunk, they're moving on, they're working on The Witcher, the Cyberpunk sequel, whatever, but we now have Cyberpunk 2077 Update 2.2. This brings car paint jobs, car customization, 10 whole new cars, more Johnny Silverhand appearances, like they cranked that up. There are new photo mode options, more character customization, and apparently more secrets to find. That's cool. That's nice to see. First of all, I'm glad that they fixed the game, but also the fact that they've continued to add cool stuff to it to just make the world, the game, a little bit more deeper, a little bit more compelling. I'm into that. Also, for you Balatro fans, they added like a Balatro quest in the game, so if you're currently addicted to that card game roguelike thing, like, then yes, there's a little bit of it in Cyberpunk for you. Also, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is wrapping up. Season 4 is going to be their final season. The game is going to be updated with an offline mode to be played indefinitely, and that's a wrap. Deathstroke is in it now, I think. So yeah, there are some people who have still kind of stuck with it and checked out the seasons, but that's it. So I'm curious to honestly just see what happens next. No need to beat a dead horse anymore. I just wonder what the future of DC video games are and Rocksteady is. Next up, though, in terms of trailers and stuff, you should check out I know we talked about a lot already, but don't miss this new trailer for Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. It's looking like it's pretty awesome. I mean, this is a classic, so it makes sense. But also a new trailer for Hyper Light Breaker with a release date as well. It's going to be available in early access January 14th, 2025. Also, in terms of stuff going on this week and game releases, we have covered some of them. The first is Marvel Rivals. We did a before you buy on that. It's a free-to-play game with all the free-to-play trappings, but also it's a fun 6v6 simple hero shooter. If you were looking for something different than Overwatch and you like Marvel heroes, it's a little generic, but I've been having fun with it. We all kind of have been, so yeah. Also, Path of Exile 2, I believe this Before You Buy came out last week, but still just giving it a shout out because it seems like people are really, really loving this game. Also, don't miss Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered. I've been playing this, absolutely loving this remaster. New character models, some better visuals. They didn't screw it up. They also didn't change a lot of the gameplay, so it's still a little clunky. It's shown its age, so if you're like only like a 12-year-old Fortnite player, you're not gonna like this. But yes, this is still the old classic Soul Reaver games, and I'm just happy that they exist again in a modern, accessible form because they were a little annoying to play on PC, and yeah, they look good now. Question, of course, is what remains for the future of the franchise? I don't know. But if you do want to check it out, shout out to No Clip. They do video game documentaries. They just released one on the Soul Reaver games. A lot of really fascinating behind-the-scenes archival stuff for this game. Like, did you know that David Hayter, Solid Snake, auditioned for the voice of Raziel, like the main character? That is an actual thing. You should check this out. It's a really good documentary. And I'm just saying, Danny, when you make a Metal Gear Solid video, call your boy, please. But that's all the gaming news from this week. Everything I wanted to talk about, stuff we found interesting. So let me know, of course, your picks for the Game Awards. Obviously, you're probably going to have some arguments about who won the awards and stuff like that, but really the announcements. What trailer really caught your eye? That's honestly what we want to hear the most for our research for videos and stuff. Let us know what really got you buzzing. We really appreciate that. But other than that, that's it. You can find me on all the platforms. Blue Sky, Twitter, Threads, Instagram, YouTube, Jake Baldino. Just look me up if you want to yell at me directly. But thank you for being here. All I ask is clicking the like button, if you felt like you got caught up on the news here. We're here every Friday. We never miss. But have a great weekend. Be safe. I'm Jake Baldino. Pizza's on me.